What is up, people of YouTube? I'm back once again with my, I guess what I'm be calling my weekend vlog. Although it kind of seems like that for this week because I am indeed recording this on Friday, March 14th, 2014. So I just want to apologize in advance for not being able to record a video earlier this week on Monday. And that's because I had 2 tests this week and I wanted to, of course, do as much studying as I could for them, and obviously doing the best I could on the tests. So that's the reason why you didn't see a vlog here on Monday. So usually they will be here on Mondays, but this week was just a bit different. So without further ado, let's get into this vlog. Alright, so as you guys might have noticed already, I am in a different spot for recording this vlog today. That is my living room. And I've recorded one other vlog like a few months ago in this spot. It was when I believe it's when it wasn't when I came back from spring break. No, I think it was just earlier in the semester. Maybe when I came back from my winter break. So, yeah. But that's besides the point. And also, if you didn't notice that it was a little bit quieter in here, besides me just talking, that is because I am the only one here right now, because all my other roommates have classes right now. As you may have known from my previous vlogs, I've mentioned this in quite a few times, I don't have any Friday classes. Woohoo! So basically yesterday was my start to the weekend, or my Friday, so yeah buddy. And also, as you may have noticed already, I'm finally wearing something else other than some Minnesota Wild gear. And that is this t-shirt from the mountain called Bark at the Moon, which has wolves on it. Yeah, I think I'll edit it out and put an actual sound effect of a wolf howling in there. So, yeah. Alright, so now moving on to my last weekend I just had, and it's a pretty exciting one because I mentioned quite a few times in the past few vlogs what was going to happen this past weekend now. So let's get to it. Alright, so on Friday, really didn't do too much. I believe I was just here still, and we may have watched I think we watched a movie that night. Don't exactly recall what movie it was, but hey, it was still a fun night here. So, yeah. And then on Saturday, this is where some of the excitement began, because later that night, after the Wild game, which unfortunately the Wild lost 4-3 to the Dallas Stars. Yeah, I believe that was the final score. Then my parents came and picked me up, and they took me to the hotel which we were staying at that weekend because of something exciting which I'm about to mention in a little while. So, yeah. Alright, so then when we got to the hotel, we obviously took all our stuff up to our room, and then after that we went down to the little bar there, and at least me and my dad got some cold ones. And then after that, we were going to try to go to the hot tub, but unfortunately, it was packed with a bunch of high schoolers, as well as the pool area. And I think that was because last week was the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament, and that is such a big deal here. And that's because the teams that make it into this tournament come to downtown St. Paul and play their games at the well-renowned XL Energy Center, which is also where the Wild play. So that's why it's just such a huge deal, and it's one of the many reasons why Minnesota is known as the state of hockey. So, yeah. And also the rest of the hotel was packed, if I didn't say that before, and it was pretty crazy because there were just these random high school kids just standing out by the railings, and we were thinking, wow, that looks kind of dangerous, just standing and looking down over a railing like that. I'd be scared if I was looking down from one of those top floors, or any floor before those top floors. So, yeah. So because of it being crowded in there, we couldn't go in the hot tub. So, we still just enjoyed our cold ones in our hotel room whilst watching Saturday Night Live. And man, I haven't watched that show in such a long time. I think that's mainly because I'm just so dedicated to the Wild, being the diehard fan I am. So, yeah. And speaking of the Wild, that is exactly what I did on Sunday, and that is go to that Wild game, and I'll get into more details about that in a little while as I talk about what went on that day for me. So, that morning, this past Sunday, we first went out for a little breakfast at some little cafe that was nearby my school here. It's called the Grandview Grill, and it was a pretty good breakfast there. I brought all my roommates. Unlike last time, I believe it was just one of my roommates, the one that lives next to me, Eric, that I brought last time. But this time, they all came, and my parents were finally able to meet all the other roommates. So it was a good time. Had a good time just chatting about stuff, and of course, had a good breakfast too. So yeah. All right. So then after that, I came back here to St. Thomas. I chilled for a little while, and then after that, I then headed over to some building here where I had my large group orientation for this program that we have here called Vision, and that stands for Volunteers in Service Internationally or Nationally. Because if I haven't told you this yet, I got accepted for one of those trips. Woohoo! Oh, and I can't freaking wait, because the place where I'm going to be going is going to be a neat place. I'm going to New Mexico, specifically northwestern New Mexico, and the place we're going to be going is this one church and monastery. So most of the time on this trip, it'll be spent living the monastic life, and then also doing some little bits of service for that church. And part of why I'm so excited for this trip is because this will be my first ever legit road trip. Oh yeah! And what's even better is that I'm going to be able to help out with some of the driving to and from that trip. So that's going to be pretty exciting, because never before have I gone on an actual road trip like this. And I'm going to be finally seeing some new states that I haven't set foot in yet. So all in all, I think it's going to be a good time. So yeah. Alright, so now moving on with my day. After that few-hour large group orientation for that Vision program for each of our trips, I then came back here to my place, dropped some of that some little paperwork off. Well, it wasn't paperwork; it was just packaged stuff. And then I told the two girls that I invited to come to the Wild game with me, that they could come over here. So then once they finally got over here, I told my parents that they're here now and that we could go. So then once my roommate that was joining us, Eric, and those two girls whose names are Kathleen and Maggie, were all ready to go, we then went downstairs and met my parents out front in this little turnaround spot that's by our main entrance to our residence hall. And then we were on our way to downtown St. Paul. And then actually, before we went to the Wild game, because we got downtown at 5:30, we had reservations set up for a restaurant nearby the XL Energy Center, and there's plenty of them. We went to this one place called Great Waters Brewing Company, and let's just say, not to my surprise, the place was packed with a bunch of Wild fans, and Blues fans too. Boo to them. But yay for the Wild fans. So that's just one thing I love about all these little restaurants that are near the XL Energy Center. And this is like pretty much common for like any sort of sports for any area. There'll just be a ton of fans that are eating, drinking, of course, before the game, and then of course after the game too. So we had a nice little dinner and drinks there too. So once we finished up our dinner and stuff, we then proceeded to walk over to the XL Energy Center for the Minnesota Wild game. And let's just say that despite the outcome, it was the Wild ended up losing in a shootout to the Blues 3-2. I thought it was still a really fun game. I got to see the debut of one of our new players. It was our new goalie, who we acquired from the Edmonton Oilers. And I also got to see one of our other players that we acquired from the trade deadline score his first goal as a member of the Wild. So I thought that was still pretty fun. But I knew the game was probably going to end the way it did because the team that we played, the St. Louis Blues, are just really stacked, and they just have some spectacular shooters and some outstanding defensemen. So I knew that was going to be a tough game for us. But hey, my parents still had fun at their first ever NHL game, as did those two girls, Kathleen and Maggie. So all was good, despite the outcome. So then after that, we obviously drove back here, dropped Eric off as well as Kathleen and Maggie, and then since I didn't have any classes until the afternoon the next day, I still stayed with my parents at the hotel for one more night, and then also because we couldn't go in the hot tub last night or the past night, we went in the hot tub that night and also had cold ones, of course. So all in all, I thought it was a pretty darn good weekend. So couldn't ask for anything better, especially with me being the diehard Wild fan I am. So needless to say, good times were had. Oops. Alright, so what else do I want to talk about with you guys? Well, I guess we could talk about something exciting that just happened 2 days ago. 2 days ago, and actually a few days before that, the managing editor that I sort of know for his Minnesota Wild blog that I wrote right before called Hockey Wilderness said that one of the writers from Canada is going to be here this week and attending the Wild home games that are here this weekend. So once I found out about that, I thought, ooh, awesome, maybe potential for a meetup. And as soon as I knew it, he sent an email out to us saying that him and another writer who I've also actually got to know over a few months ago at a Wild game I was at, said they'd be at a local, or just at one of the bars or pubs in that area of in the vicinity of the XL Energy Center, I should say. So once I heard about that, I just knew I had to take advantage of this opportunity, and I just couldn't turn it down. So once I found out about this, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. So happy I did it, and it was great to finally get to meet another member of the Wilderness, as us writers call it. So yeah, good times were had at this place. Just had a little dinner, a few cold ones. So yeah, good times were had. And then also after having some dinner there, we all stayed then for quite a few hours to watch some of the other NHL games that were on that night. There wasn't a Wild game on that night because there was just one on the night before. So yeah. Still a pretty good time watching all the other games around there, though. So, again, needless to say, I had a lot of fun that night. So, yeah. Alright, so I think that's all I like to talk about. And actually, one thing I want to talk about with you guys, or something I have to show you. It's not going to be the most exciting because actually it's something I got from Amazon, but you're probably wondering, well, Dan, what's in this package? Well, here you go. It is, we can get the camera to focus on it. Nah, it's probably not going to focus because of the bright light coming in here. Nah, you get the idea. There we go. It is a 10-pack of CDRs by Memorex, or Memorex, if I didn't say that right. And the reason why I got these is because, as I said earlier in this vlog, over exactly a week from now, I'll be going on my vision trip or service trip to New Mexico. So one of the things that they said we should have for our packing list is some mix CDs. So I thought, why not get myself this one pack of CDRs so I can make a bunch. And I'm probably going to end up having to use at least half of these because they only have a storage limit of 700 megabyte, or storage capacity, I should say, of 700 megabytes. And that's good for only 80 minutes of music, so I know I'm going to have to use at least half of these. But hey, that's why I knew what amount I needed to get. I didn't need a ton, but I needed just the right amount and not too little. So actually, before I go, I guess I could do a little unboxing for you guys, even though it's just CDRs, so it's not going to be terribly exciting. And that's pretty much about it. But I guess I could take one of the CDs out for you guys. If I can even... Oh, there we go. Alright, so there you go. Here is one of the 10 CDRs, and it's already slipping out of the case. Yep, so as you notice, not only does it come with the CDs, it comes with a jewel case for each CD or CDR. So I think that's pretty nice. I specifically looked at that when I was ordering this off of Amazon because I didn't want to have to worry about getting CDRs or CDRWs and being stuck without having cases. So that's why I went with this particular box. It didn't cost much either. It was only a little over $8, and it also had Amazon Prime 2-day shipping. So when I buy something on Amazon, I always look for that because I know it'll always be a guaranteed delivery date. And since I ordered just 2 days ago, I was guaranteed a delivery date of today, which I was. So good job, Amazon. Alright, so that is about it. Oh, actually, one more thing I've got to show you. Be right back. Alright, I'm now back. This is another thing that I ordered off Amazon. I think it was last week. These Wawa Colombian coffee K-Cups. So, in case you guys are wondering where the brand Wawa is based, it's actually a chain that's based out east in, I think, New Jersey, and I don't know if they have any in... I think they may have some in Philly, I'm not entirely sure, mainly because I obviously don't live in the area, obviously. So, I think there's also some in Florida, and I got to know this because I watch David DeFranco on YouTube, and he lives out in Jersey, and he knows someone from Florida, and I think that's how he knows there's some Wawas down there, but hey, that's besides the point. Anyways, I thought I'd get these as just like a little, just something to just make me think of David DeFranco. It made me think of that when I ordered them, obviously. So I thought, well, why not get them? Because I can't enjoy Wawa out here because, as I said before, it's a Eastern U.S. chain. So I thought, why not enjoy it through the goodness that is K-Cups? So that's what I decided to do. Alright, now for real, I am done. But before I go, as usual, I wanted to tell you guys that you can follow me on Twitter at @wildfan from Wisconsin, or that is wildfan from WI, which is the state initial for Wisconsin. Also, be sure to give this video a like. I really appreciate that, as it really tells me, guys, that you enjoy these vlogs I put out for you every week. Also, be sure to put a comment below, letting me know what you guys thought about this vlog, as well as anything else that's on your mind. Well, just comment anything below besides spam or any sort of negativity. Let's just leave it at that. And also, last but not least, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel. I would just really love to gain the subscriber count on this channel, because, yeah, I know subscriber counts, they're not the biggest thing to look at when looking at other people's channels on YouTube. Well, it is for some of the bigger YouTubers, but I can even talk, like Chris Perullo and iJustine and a bunch of other YouTubers. But hey, that's besides the point, and I would just love to see some more subscribers flock to my channel. Alright, so now I'm going to let you guys go. So the last thing to say now is peace.